What's going on, everyone? Rob here with Arc Healer Outdoors. Back to you, bringing you another video from the kitchen table. So that means two things. It means it's raining its butt off and I don't have time to get on the water, or I have some work to do. So today is both. I have some work to do. I have 3 rods that are broken in one way or another. One I actually broke, it's a spinning rod. I broke about an inch of the tip off. So we're going to be repairing that today. And yeah, I know it's going to cut it down an inch. It's not going to be as sensitive, but it'll be a perfect pole for the kids at the pond, for me at the lake when I'm fishing from the bank. And it's another spinning rod that if I'm in a jam, at least I have. And it's a really nice rod. It's a St. Croix Mojo, the kayak version. So we'll be repairing the tip on that today. I also have a rod where one of my guides, middle guides, the insert came out, so I'll be repairing the insert on that one. And I also have another one where the insert came out of the tip, so I think I'm going to show you how to take the old tip off, put a new tip on. It's kind of the same thing I'm doing with the spinning rod. I was going to put the insert back in it, but I don't have an insert to fit it here. So yeah, let's get into it. First off, what are you going to need? So a few things you need to make these repairs. Of course you need, so this is the tip that's broken, like I showed you earlier. Of course you're going to need a tip to put back on it. If you're doing a tip, this will be the tip I'm putting on the one that I take off. And if you're doing an insert, this is going to be hard for me to hold and you to see, but you'll need some kind of insert. So that's the insert that is going to fit the pole I got. And all this stuff is available on Amazon. I mean, here's an insert kit off Amazon. Here's tips and eye guides and everything else. I just have a collection of stuff. Most of it came off of Amazon as well. You'll need some kind of hot glue or stick glue. This is the one I'll be using today. As you can see, this isn't the first time I've used this one. Another example of some stick glue. For replacing the ceramic insert, I'm going to use a 2-part epoxy. I got Loctite, so I'll mix it up on a piece of cardboard and some Q-tips to apply the epoxy. And for heating up to get the tip off or heating up that glue, I'm going to use a lighter. So that's the things you're going to need to do most of these repairs. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with the spinning rod. So like I said, this is a St. Croix, this is the Mojo Yak, and I have a broken tip, so you can see that old tip broke right off there. So like I said, I'm gonna shrink it an inch, and this is the tip that I'm replacing it with. So similar in size, not going to be perfect. I did have to get a little bit thicker on this, so you might have to play around with what you buy, but it's just going to fit right up over here. And on there, you're going to use the hot glue to actually put that on. So I'm going to stick the hot glue on now and get it ready to slip on. So get one of my hot glue sticks. Get it pretty close. Heat the glue up. Some glue on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. The glue on the end. And now that it's on, I want to get it close and lined up. Looks like it's going to be pretty close right there. I like it. Again, look down all the eyes and make sure I like it. gonna work good. So now that that's on there, I'm gonna let that sit. You can wipe the excess off, get it off later, whatever you want to do with that. But let that sit. I'm not sure the exact cure time. I usually give mine a solid 24 hours with no pressure on what I just glued on before I'll try it again. So yeah, like I said, I lost an inch of the tip on this one, but there's no reason to throw the whole rod away to me. This will be a perfect pole for the kids when we go to the pond, or me when I go off the bank. And you know, anyone that's fished off the bank or fished in thick cover off the bank, you know you're gonna beat your stuff up. So the perfect one to beat up is one that's already beat up. So that'll be my new pond hopper. Like I said, if I'm ever in a scenario where I need a 5th or 6th spinning rod on the deck, it's an easy one to pick up and put in play. So it'll still do the job. It's just not going to be my #1 rod anymore. Next, let's continue with the tip. So this is my buddy's pole, and you can see the insert is missing off his tip. So I don't have another insert to put in this one that fit, and I could buy that and try and replace that. But I do have another micro guide that is the same size almost as this one. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead, and this is a fixed with a hot glue. I did go and get a glove because I might have to heat this up and pull it off. And yeah, I'm gonna use the lighter, put some heat on it, and use the glove to get it off. So there it goes. So that's off. Just had to put some heat on it. Yeah, definitely use a glove, because even with the glove on, this one got pretty hot to get that glue melted. So give that a second to cool down, and then we'll get some hot glue on it, just like the St. Croix. And get this one fixed, if you guys could see what we're left with. And then this is what I'll be putting on, another micro guide. And I did measure that it's going to go right down to where we want it to be. So yep, I know it's not the same color silver as what was on here before, but it's definitely going to work and make the pole usable again. So go ahead, get some hot glue on this one, just like I did for the St. Croix. Same glue, same everything. Sure this gets lined up the best I can. Wipe away the excess. Put my glue away. Yeah, we'll let that cure. Just want to look down and make sure it's all lined up. It looks good from that side. Yep. So again, I'll let that cure for 24 hours, and then I'll have his pole back, ready to rock. And the last repair, like I said, this one's going to be tough to see. On the second insert here, let me see if this helps at all. The second insert is missing. That's a pretty decent look at it there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and fix. And this one's a little tougher. So like I said, I'm gonna mix up my 2-part epoxy over here. And it doesn't matter what epoxy you use, whatever one you want to use, you could go ahead and use. gonna put a little on there. I'm gonna use the Q-tip to apply it when the time comes. Like I said, I'm gonna get my micro insert. Showed you this earlier, but that's the size I need. Now the pain is gonna be getting it set in here because it's a very, very tight spot. It's got to go in perfectly straight. And I'm dealing with a brown table, a brown floor, a black insert. I've already lost one in the vent behind me doing this in the past, so me trying to push them in there. And tweezers could help you here. Needle nose pliers could help you here. I'm stubborn. I like to use my fingers. And that's pretty close. Let me see if I can't get a little more in there. Move this camera one more time, trying to get you guys a view of this. Not the best view, but you can see that insert is pretty well in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my Q-tip and my epoxy that I have mixed down here and dab my Q-tip in it just a little bit, and I'm gonna apply the epoxy to it. Yeah, you only really got to do one side. I'm gonna do both, and let that set. And that'll be that on the insert. So hope this guide helped you if you guys were looking to do some repairs on your poles. Don't throw them away if you break them. If you don't want to do it, take them to somebody who will do it. But almost everything is repairable on these. So appreciate you guys for the time, and I'll catch you on the next one.